You know that feeling. It's late. You're in bed, phone in hand, scrolling. You find another video about how to be more productive, how to fix your life, how to finally get your act together. For 6 minutes, or 12, or 20, something clicks. A rush of clarity, a quiet sense of relief. Someone has finally explained what's wrong with you. Tomorrow, you think. Tomorrow I'll start. You close the app, and for a moment, you feel almost proud, like you've already done something important. But tomorrow comes, and the day after, and somehow nothing changes. Your life looks exactly the same. The clarity fades, the new system stays untouched, and you're left with this uncomfortable gap. You've consumed so much, you know what to do. So why does it feel like you're running in place? Why hasn't all this learning turned into a different life? That confusion usually leads you to a familiar, brutal answer. It must be a character flaw. You're lazy. You lack discipline. You don't want it badly enough. Everyone else watches a video and goes and does the thing, but you just watch another one, and another. The self-diagnosis feels shamefully accurate. It has to be you, right? Some essential piece of your willpower is just broken. You carry that label around, and every unfinished plan, every ignored piece of advice starts to feel like a personal moral failure. But there's something that label can't explain. Think about last Tuesday night. It's 11:15. You should be sleeping, but instead you're deep in your Notion workspace, reorganizing your entire growth system for almost 2 hours. You've built a new dashboard, color-coded your goals, dragged in a calendar widget, named a folder, Morning Ritual V4. Your fingers know the shortcuts by heart. Your shoulders are tense in that familiar, productive exhaustion way. You tap the final checkbox and lean back. Your chest feels light. You close the laptop and feel genuinely proud of yourself, like you've just finished something heavy. And in a strange way, you have. But the actual work, the thing the dashboard was supposed to start, it's still waiting. You haven't moved an inch in the real world, and yet your body is handing you the deep, quiet satisfaction of a job well done. Where did that feeling come from? Laziness as an explanation is starting to crack a little. Here's what's actually happening. Your brain is running a silent counterfeiting operation. You have a fundamental human need to feel progress, and your brain's reward system fires for whatever meets that need. The problem is, your brain can't clearly tell the difference between understanding a change and making one. When you listen to a profound idea, design the perfect morning routine, or have a flash of self-awareness about why you procrastinate, your brain fires the same signals it would fire if you'd actually done the work. The hope, the clarity, the feeling of, I finally get it, that's the dopamine hit. Right there. You've just cashed the check for an action you haven't taken yet. And once you've already been paid, the motivation to do the actual work quietly evaporates. The emergency is gone. This doesn't happen randomly. It usually starts with a low hum, a quiet anxiety that you're not doing enough, that you're falling behind. That feeling is unpleasant, so you reach for the fastest antidote you know, a self-improvement video, a saved thread. And for the next 10 minutes, the anxiety goes quiet. The voice in your headphones feels like progress. You feel hopeful, directed, in control. The content ends. For a little while, there's peace. But the underlying situation hasn't moved at all. So the anxiety seeps back in, a little louder this time, because somewhere underneath, you know exactly what you just did. You used a painkiller. And painkillers need to get stronger to do the same job. Anxiety drives consumption. Consumption gives fleeting relief. Relief fades into stronger anxiety. You're not failing to break the loop. You're getting better at it, round after round, mistaking the relief for the work itself. So here's the diagnosis that actually breaks the self-blame story. You are not lazy. What's true is that you've become very, very good at pre-spending the emotional reward of action. You've been rewarding yourself for getting ready to change, and then wondering why the change never shows up. Every moment of insight, every beautifully designed plan, every flash of resonance with someone else's advice. You've been treating these as proof you're on the path. But somewhere along the way, they became the path itself. A very convincing, very safe, completely motionless path. So what do you actually do with this? You don't build another system. You insert one moment of consciousness into the machinery that's already running. Next time you feel that familiar itch, the urge to open the watch later list, to find just one more framework that's finally going to make it easy, you pause, even for one breath. And in that small gap, you ask yourself the question that has never once failed to tell the truth. Am I looking for real progress right now? Or am I looking for the feeling of progress? You don't even have to act on the answer. The asking alone is a wrench in the gears. It interrupts the automatic reach for a counterfeit reward, and for maybe the first time in a long time, it hands you back an actual choice. There's a harder truth sitting underneath all of this, and it isn't a comfortable one. Real growth doesn't start inside a moment of understanding. It doesn't begin with a feeling of readiness or a burst of inspiration. Real growth happens on the days when you feel almost nothing, when motivation is somewhere close to zero, and a small, stubborn part of you still chooses the thing that's difficult, awkward, and slow. It happens when you accept that the point of action was never to feel better. The point of action is to get better. And sometimes that just means sitting in a few hours of friction and doubt instead of trading them in clean dopamine of figuring it out. The shift doesn't arrive when you finally find the right video. It arrives the next time your hand reaches for your phone to escape into a better, imagined version of yourself, and you decide instead to stay here, in the discomfort of this one, and do the work. That's the exact moment you stop learning how to build a life and start actually building one. If that gap between knowing and doing sounds like your life right now, there's more of this kind of thinking here.